Welcome back to the show. If you know me, you know how much I love the village of Salado. And I guess the biggest thing they do all year is the Scottish Highland Games, which are coming up the first weekend, well, really the second weekend in November. It's going to be November 6th through the 7th through the 9th. And I am so excited today to introduce you to Katie Hill, needs no introduction. She's been on this show several times, the owner of Barrow Brewing.
Thanks
in
for
fact, you've
having
been
me
on
back.
to talk about this very event in years past.
Yes.
But you have brought along with you a couple of athletes, which is just so much fun. Faith Daniel, who is from the Florence area and has a coffee shop there.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
we'll talk about that in a bit. And Christian McLellan. So Christian is a professional Scottish Highlands game athlete.
Yes,
Did
ma'am.
I say that right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so where are you from?
I was born in Mississippi, raised in Georgia, but I'm over in Salado right now. So, all around the South.
Okay, so I've just got to know how you got involved as becoming an athlete in this very specific events, athletic events, involved with the Scottish Games. First of all, Katie, when is this all going to happen? I kind of muddled around with the dates there.
Oh, it's okay. It's always the second weekend in November, and this time in 2025, the dates fall on November 7th through 9th, and the games happen on Saturday, November 8th. And for the first time ever, since I've been in Salado, the games are along the creek side at Barrow Brewing and in on the creek and at Pace Park. So the gathering will take up both sides of the creek, which I'm told it used to be at Pace Park. Years and years ago, the gathering happened at Pace Park, but now it's finally back along the creek, and we'll be hosting at Barrow Brewing, in on the creek, and Pace Park.
Well, and it's a whole celebration. There'll be bagpipes, and tell me about, there's kind of a gathering of the clans, and then you march.
That's right. This is the 64th annual, the oldest Scottish clan gathering in the state of Texas. And we're expecting 40 to 50 clans, Scottish clans, to be represented. They'll set up a clan village where you can go and find your clan, meet your people. Maybe you don't belong to a clan, but they will adopt you. There are Scottish dancers, of course, the bagpipers. There are vendors with Celtic and Scottish goods. There is one food truck vendor that has Scotch eggs and Scottish hand pies that are just delicious and a treat that we don't get to have any other time of year. And one thing that has been growing year over year are the Highland Games.
So no haggis.
Oh.
I don't think I've
I
never
think-
had
Never
that.
mind. I'd be down to try it. But
I hear about it a lot.
It's I know. That's kind of my impression
Not
of
a big market for that.
but Katie, I understand you and your mom were just in Scotland. Tell me
We
about that.
were. So we knew that we had some Scottish ancestry, but as I've been fortunate to be on the Salado Museum's board of directors, I've gotten more and more involved with the Scottish gathering. We belong to Clan Douglas, and through that Ancestry.com website, we discovered our ancestral castle, and we had just our own.
Everybody should have an ancestral
Isn't that
castle,
amazing?
right?
It blew my mind that it's now an Airbnb. We stayed in the stables, had a private tour, got to explore the estate, and just learned so much about where our people came from. You know, so many people migrated from Scotland into the U.S. They went from Virginia and Tennessee, Arkansas and Missouri, eventually making their way here to Central Texas. Of course, Texas is known for the German and Czech culture, especially up here around Waco. And one of the great things about the Scottish gathering in Salado is that we get to highlight all of the Scottish history too.
Yes, I've got the German, but I've also got Scottish. I've found out. So I think Campbell is a great grandmother who came over to Tennessee, as you say. I mean, that's kind of how that migration, at least in my family, happened. And you've got your kilt on.
That's
your
right. I'm
beautiful skirt.
representing the Douglas Classic Tartan here today. And, it's really neat that you can find your clan tartan, but when you go over to Scotland, nobody really cares. They say, wear what you want, wear what you like.
Find it pretty, because they're all beautiful.
They
The
are.
colors are so pretty. Okay, so Faith, tell me about yourself. Now you've got a kilt on as
Yes.
well, and you've even got some patches on there.
Yes, I do. Mostly we get these, like, when you go to different games, they'll either have, like, a game patch, or one of these in particular is the Sisterhood of Highland Throwers, which really kind of highlights female athletes. And so I'm lucky to be part of that group as well. But kind of what you were saying before, I got into Highland Games basically with Christian, just from us going to the same gym at Texas State.
Okay, so y'all were in college together. Yeah, at San
A
Marcos.
little bit.
Yeah,
I graduated a little bit before him. I'm a little bit older,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
but I stayed in San Marcos for 11 years after that, and I worked there in town. So I went to that gym for 11 years, and so that's when I met these guys, and yeah, the rest is history from there.
Okay, so that's when you became familiar with Scottish games as far as athletic endeavor.
Yeah, our mutual friend, I had seen some videos of him just doing it, and I was, first of all, just interested in going and watching if there was like a festival or something like that. We had just recently moved back to Florence from San Marcos, and so I was trying to find things to do, and so I asked him, he was like, you should just come and compete, and I was like, okay. And so he's the one who actually like taught me how to do everything, and then he would host a practice there once a week, and so I would drive from Florence to San Marcos, and would just like try to get as good as I could to my first game, and then finally got my own implements, and now I just practice at my farm.
Okay, so tell me about yourself, Christian. Where are you from? You said you're originally
Yeah, I was born in
in the
Mississippi.
South,
Yep.
and got to Texas.
Mhm.
And so is that when you got to know Chase, right? That's how you became familiar with these athletic events?
Well, I met Chase at Sherman. Is that Sherman, right? Up in Dallas.
Uh-huh,
A
yeah.
Sherman Festival up there. And I had already done a couple games. This was his first game.
Okay.
I started right after college. I graduated from UNT, and I used to wrestle, and I couldn't wrestle anymore. So I
Okay.
watched a documentary on Amazon called The Heavies. And I was like, well, I can do that. And then 4 years later, I got really good at it. So
Okay, so the heavy. So what were you seeing in this documentary? When I think of Scottish games, I think of a telephone pole and throwing it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's one of them?
Yeah, no, that's the
Definitely.
caber.
Okay.
The Heavies was actually a documentary about the World Championship Scottish Games in Scotland, or it was also covering the Braemar Gathering, which is like our Super Bowl, because the winner gets to meet the royal family. So it's a really big deal. The royal family shows up every year, and the whole documentary is just going back and forth with like Matt Vincent and a few other athletes who were just kind of competing against each other back in, I think, mid like 2015 or 2014 or so. And, a lot of them have world records still today. So they're like the elite athletes of their time.
Well, speaking of which, you have a couple of world records. You're still working
I'm still
on
working on the
getting
bureaucracy.
documented for sure.
Yeah.
What were those events?
So I did the one-handed keg toss over a bar. I think I only got 17 feet, but we were tired at the end of the day, so we didn't want to go higher. And I did a one-handed keg toss for distance, and I got about 65 or 66 feet.
So when you say a keg, what is it we're talking about?
Like a half keg, 28 pounds.
Oh, okay. Which
Like
you're
a beer
familiar
keg.
with
Yes,
those
like a beer
Yes.
keg, yeah.
at the brewery. So all right, and so it's just mainly like tossing heavy things. We have a couple of things here on the table that you brought, Faith. Tell me about what we've got here.
So this beautiful rock here is actually, that's one of my favorite events. There's two stone events in the Highland Games, and one is the open stone and one is the Braemar. And one for women, it's 8 pounds and 12 pounds. And so this is my 8-pound open stone here that we throw similar to like a shot put.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if it looked like a shot put.
Yes.
Move.
So that one is for distance. And then same thing with this weight here. This is my lightweight for distance. And that one you swing around in a circle, kind of like a discus. And you do that one for distance as well. But I also have a heavier version of this. So we have a lightweight and a heavyweight for both of these implements.
So how many women are involved in these games?
It's growing all the time. you know, probably about, what do you say, like 30 or 40% are women now. And now there's all women's games that are starting to get hosted here in Texas. And so it's really up and coming. And a lot of the women are really trying to push the sport and like make a name for themselves and just try to get more and more things involved. So there is like more of a space for women in the games.
10 years ago at the Scottish Highland Games in Salado, no women. And now, how many women competed last year? Do you know, in Salado? It was more than I expected. I expected like
Probably
a handful.
It was probably about half last year.
Yeah, there were a lot of women competing.
Quite a bit.
One of my favorite things about the Scottish Highland athletics is every competitor has to wear a kilt.
I was going to say they're not in shorts.
No,
they're
they're not. They're definitely representing the culture. But do y'all know a lot? I'm sure you do, about the history of the Highland Games, like
About the Olympics?
why? Yeah.
Oh, well, about the why. The why, not so much. But I think it was mostly for, like, I believe their weapons were taken, and that was the way of training back in the day. I could be wrong, but
so when England moved, when the British moved in to Scotland, they took their weapons.
Yes.
And so this was their way of training for war. And I have heard that that these games were before the Olympics. That they predated the Olympics.
It inspired the Olympics nowadays for France. The first
Do you
Olympics
think that's true?
That's this whole story about it.
Really?
Yeah, they saw that they were still competing in Scotland, and they saw that. It was like, all right, well, why don't we do this? Like, that's why it's so similar to shot put and a lot of track
discus and things.
Like, they were doing it way before. So this was the first shot put, I guess, was just obviously just a stone.
I think that's so neat.
And all of these stones can be different at whatever game that you go to. You don't get to bring your own things with you.
Oh,
so
you're
show
just
up
training with these.
Yes, so these are my personal ones, but then you show up to a game and it's kind of like dealer's choice. And so as long as it weighs the right weight, you can have like a flat stone. And so you kind of have to just learn how to work that implement on the fly. And same thing with all of the other implements as well. If I get used to just throwing this just one kind of way, then I have to then make adjustments at a game, which is that I feel like is what makes it so fun, because it's a mystery when you get there, and you know, maybe you'll enjoy throwing that implement even more.
And there's still there's not just all have to be 16. It's like 16 to 20, 20 to 30. Like I've thrown an open stone that weighed close to 30 pounds, and it was the size of a meteor, you know. It was not fun, and you had to spin. That was up in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And then in Scotland, you know, they have some implements that are so old, like 500 plus years old, that you don't even know what it weighs anymore. Some of them are 60 plus, and like there's no standard weight technically when you go up to Scotland, because they kind of just give you what they got.
Christian, I know you've traveled all over the U.S. Where have you been?
Like from California to Ohio. I threw at the Arnold Sports Festival, which is a really big convention. Georgia, Colorado, Kansas, Oregon. Like I've been everywhere.
Competing in these Scottish games.
Oh yeah.
Do you win everywhere you go?
I don't do too bad. I don't win all the time. I don't win all the time, but I don't do too bad.
Well, and I bet you've met a lot of people that you see regularly.
Oh, yeah.
You have, a community, really.
Oh yeah.
Your own kind of clan, if you will. So much more I want to hear from the three of you about the Salado Scottish Highland Games, which are coming up in November. But we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will talk some more. But I want to let you know today's show is brought to you by Gather & Co., where they are transforming houses into homes. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
If your home's feeling a bit dated or you're dreaming of that beautiful outdoor oasis, I have got the team for you. Gather & Co., the family-owned remodeling pros right here in Greater Waco since 1998. Led by the Falconberry family, they specialize in stunning kitchen and bathroom makeovers. Think custom walk-in showers, sleek cabinetry, and aging-in-place upgrades for easy living. They also nail outdoor spaces with pergolas, patio covers, sunrooms, and screen rooms that turn your backyard into a year-round retreat. What sets them apart? Personalized designs, top-notch craftsmanship, and a hassle-free process for free in-home consultations to spot-on completion, plus financing options to make it simple. Customers love them, raving about the friendly crew and attention to every detail. Ready to gather in your dream home? Call Gather & Co. today, 254-759-1147 for a no-obligation quote. Visit GatherCoRemodeling.com. Your remodel starts here.
At Mapiful, we believe in celebrating your journey. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit Mapiful.com and start celebrating your story today.
And welcome back to the show. We are talking about the Salado Scottish Highlands Games, which are coming up November 7th through the 9th in the beautiful village of Salado. It's the 64th Scottish Gathering and Highland Games. And I've got KD Hill, owner of Barrow Brewing, which is going to kind of be the hub
That's
of where a lot
right.
of things
And
are
we're
going
brewing
to be
a special beer.
Are you really?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Do we get
the
like a
Rusty
sneak peek?
Claymore. Yeah, and maybe some athletes can have some samples.
We'll quality check for you.
And Faith Daniel, who is one of the athletes, and Christian McLellan, also an athlete, but you are considered a professional level athlete. So we were talking about some of the different games that you have been to. Do you have a favorite thing that you've done?
I don't want to make anybody mad. I mean, I like all of them, to
I'm
be
sure,
fair,
yeah.
but I would,
Well,
I would say
well said.
Salado. I've
Well
won
said,
the
my
last
friend,
4
yeah.
years.
Of course, of course. Yeah. But you have been able to go to Scotland, though. And
I
so-
was supposed to go this year. I actually got a scholarship from the McLellan clan, but I was unable to go because I got injured. So I'm trying to go next year.
Oh, okay. So, injured doing this or some other what?
Hmm?
Well, what was your injury, if I could ask?
It was like a groin injury from just spinning a lot. So you use your hips so much for throwing that a lot of times like your IT band gets real tight, and you got to make sure you stretch. And I suck at stretching sometimes. So
And of course, and then you're dealing with heavy weights. So, Katie, you said you actually practiced doing some of these.
They've been coming to the
events.
brewery quarterly to do demonstrations and help get the word out, get people interested. And part of that is some hands-on. So they were at the brewery last Friday, and I got to do one of these things, and it was so scary.
Okay, and so it involved a weight on a chain.
Yes, and you swung it through your legs
Right.
and tried to get it over a bar above your head
bar.
while you ran out of the way.
So it doesn't crash on your
That's
head.
right. That's right. So I'm probably not the best ambassador for Highland Games.
You did great.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get her to compete, but
Well, I'm busy with the Bonnie knees. That's my big competition.
Okay, so tell me about that. Yeah.
So every year, and it's a tried and true Scottish tradition. Yeah, the men, of course, at the Scottish Gathering are all wearing kilts, and we have a competition to see who has the best knees. I have to recruit and bribe women to be the judges because they're blindfolded. The judges are blindfolded.
Oh, so this is a feeling
Yes.
competition?
Yes, they have to judge the men's knees blindfolded with their
I'm
hands.
getting self-conscious right now.
It's
Look
really fun.
Look how demure you are over here in this kilt.
So modest. But that's just another one of the fun things that we do at the
Yeah.
Scottish Gathering in November. And it's just a way to get people involved and, share part of the culture. We're also going to have Scottish country dancing, something that everybody can partake in.
Oh.
It's a lot like square dancing. We have a teacher from Austin coming up to share that with us on Saturday and Sunday. And there will also be some sheep herding with some Scottish dogs on Sunday. So there's lots going on, but I'm so proud of the people that partake in the Highland Games because, it takes a new generation, to keep this culture thriving and to share it. And, without young people like Faith and Christian, the traditions will just fade away. And I think it's important for Texans to know, like, this, this is where we came from. So many of us. And one of the things you probably will recognize, and your viewers and listeners too, is the caber toss. Do you want to talk about the caber toss?
Yeah, that's the telephone pole.
Yes. So caber is actually Gaelic for pole, is what it means. So that's another one where you can show up to a game and it could be a mystery length and a mystery weight.
No way.
Yeah. So you can show up, and my weight class is the lightweight women's weight class. And so usually we get something that's a little bit shorter and a little bit lighter, just because I'm lower to the ground. But I've thrown stuff that's 19 feet long before, and it's really, really hard. He's thrown stuff that's 120 pounds and 20 feet long. And
Nah, it's scary. I'm still scared when I do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
What's the point?
What? So how can you be injured yourself doing it? Because you're kind of vaulting it out in front, right?
I mean, I've seen people like hit their arm, so they try to flip it, and then it hits the front of the caber, and it goes back and forth and hits their arm. So there's one guy that kind of like pulled it up and hit himself in the chin.
Oh.
They called him caber face.
What's the point of the caber toss? What are you trying to do?
You're supposed to flip it. Your point is to flip it completely in front of you. So there's a 12
So
o'clock.
it's tumbling.
Yeah,
end
just
over
one
end.
tumble. So
One tumble.
if I had a pencil, I'll show you the exact.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. So you're running with the caber. Your point is to flip it, and it's supposed to go right in front of you. This is a 12 o'clock. This is a 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And that's
And
how
you're
it's done.
judged by
Yes.
how it
Or if you can't
lands?
flip it, it's judged by the degree.
Oh.
But, we make fun of folks who can't flip it, so I get made fun of a lot.
Oh.
But you say when you go, you have to be trained to do all the different events. It's not,
Yes.
oh, I'm a specialist in just the big stone, throwing the big stone.
Yeah. At a pro level, there's some folks that ain't good at everything, but you have
You would
specific
imagine.
events that you're really good at. For
Right.
instance, like I'm really good at wob. I can throw wob.
No, what is
to,
that?
that's a weight over bar, the 56-pound weight over a bar.
Okay.
So I can throw that close to 18 feet. And there's very few people in the country and the world who can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that puts me up at a certain level. But then there's folks who are really good at the hammer throw, and no one's great at everything. If you are, you're an elite number one pro.
Oh.
I think Spencer Tyler was probably one of the folks in Texas. He's Texas-based. He was one of the best throwers. He has several world records. He threw a 28-pound weight, 97 feet. No one's done that before. It's still being tried and broke. So, and I think he threw a wob like 20 feet. So
What's the thing with the hay bale? What's that event
that's
called?
a sheaf toss.
Oh.
Sheaf toss, those 20-pound hay bale, basically you throw with a pitchfork. And we throw that like 30 plus feet in the air.
yeah, that one's for height as well.
Yep.
It's so fun to watch, and
So how do you get judges? I mean, I would assume you've got to have a team of people making sure things are done right.
A lot of volunteers, a lot of older athletes or athletes who come and do it for you. I mean, we offer a lot to, like I used to do volunteer for the Masters Worlds, and it's about giving back because those folks taught me how to throw, so I might as well judge or back and forth.
And most of the games, there's a few different athletic directors that host several games throughout the year. And so they kind of have their team that moves along with them of judges and stuff. Or if they know, oh, I'm going to be in Dallas, I know that this person lives there. And so I will ask them to judge that weekend. But yeah, there's several people where it's like their job that's one of their passions. They'll go and they'll throw like 4 games a year.
Okay, so aside from the Salado games, obviously, Faith, do you have a favorite event you've done somewhere that sticks out in
Salado,
your
of
mind?
course. Like, how could anything compare?
Well,
I do like to also go to the Austin Celtic Festival, but unfortunately they fall on the same weekend this year. And
really?
yes, and
That's
so
too bad.
that's where like I learned how to throw with those people as well. There's a really good group there that has a good group of coaches and stuff, and so
The
they,
Centex Silverbacks. If
Yes.
anybody wants to try it in Austin, it's on Facebook.
yes. And there's some different groups that are all across the state as well. There's the Third Coast Silverbacks, North Texas Silverbacks, and it's just different branches of all of these people that we go to games and we see them there all of the time. And like you were saying, the community is
Yeah.
it's great and it's big and it's accepting. And So you go and you see a lot of the same faces everywhere that you go. Even when you go out of state, like we've got friends that live out of state, but we know we're going to see them because they come to the games.
Yeah, Katie, you said you were in Colorado and happened to get to see Christian competing.
That's right. I was at Estes Park, and they host one of the largest gatherings in the U.S., and it turned out that Christian was there to compete. 75% of the athletes competing there were from Texas. So I thought, well, that's just amazing. And it shows, what a heritage we have here. And I think it's great, that you've got such a strong community here, and that if people are interested in learning a new sport, it's a really functional fitness. If you think about it, there's a great pool of knowledge here in Texas.
Old school CrossFit is sometimes we get called.
Yeah, I can
Old
see that. And yet when you're describing the hay bale and the pitchfork, we got some ranchers out there that, and young guys who are working on the ranch. Yeah, I do
Tell
that
them to
every
sign up.
day. Are you kidding?
They would kill it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the games in Colorado, Estes Park, one of the most beautiful places to
Oh,
throw.
yeah, my middle son and daughter-in-law got married there. It was
Oh, yeah.
beautiful.
There were moose and elk going around the gathering. It was so neat to see that.
Yeah. What is the history, the exact history, though, in Salado, Katie, behind the Scots coming there?
Yes. So we, Salado, Central Texas, this area, all the way up to Waco, were under the impresarioship of the Robertsons. And he was a contemporary of Stephen F. Austin. And so he was, granted this swath of land that he needed to bring families to. The Mexican government gave him a deadline. He said 300 families by this time, or you lose your land. And so he went back to his home of Tennessee and brought back settlers, so many of whom had originally come from Scotland. And so with them, they brought their culture. And I guess his great-great-granddaughter, I'll probably get in trouble for not knowing exactly who, but Lucille Robertson started the Scottish gathering in Salado back in the 1960s. I think it was 1961. And bands came from all over, pipe and drum corps and Scottish dancers. There's such a rich culture of Scottish history here in Texas. And so that's when it started in Salado. And because of the Robertsons, and they are the people that donated the land that created Salado College, which made Salado the Athens of Texas back in the 1800s, and they just gave so much to Salado and Central Texas. So that family has been really important, and I think Clan Robertson will be represented this year too.
So, and again, how long have you been, Katie, there in Salado?
I moved to Salado about 15 years ago, and I've been involved with the museum for the last, 10 maybe. But just history is so much fun, and it's true. If we don't know our history, we're doomed to repeat it. So it's been fascinating to get to know Salado's historians and the keepers of all these stories. And did you know? Well, I could go on forever, but it's just such an honor to get to work with people like Bev Turnbow and others who know so much about the history of Central Texas, and to carry that on. So hopefully the next generation will get excited about things like these really fun to watch Highland games and continue it.
Okay, so timing wise, everything starts on the 7th.
Yes.
And so there'll be the gathering, and tell me again about the march and all that.
Yes.
Okay.
So on Friday, the calling of the clans happens, which is at 6 p.m. So that's really when it starts on Friday. At 6 p.m., the calling of the clans, torch lit ceremony. So spooky. It's by the creek and really, really fun and spooky. And then Saturday, the grounds open, and the parade of bands is at noon, and everything kicks off really Saturday. The bagpipe competitions, the dance competitions, the clans will be out, and the athletics are happening as early as 8 a.m. or 9 a.m.
We start throwing about 9 a.m.
9 a.m. It's a full day of competition for the athletes. And then Sunday there is the Kirkin of the Tartan, which is a church ceremony. And I forgot to mention the entertainment. The bands, the musicians come from as far away as Scotland. It's just wonderful. So you get a little bit of the full taste of Scotland here in Texas.
Oh, it is exciting for me to hear about this kind of thing. I love the community of West, north of Waco, because of the Czech heritage. And when they have Westfest, they're in their costumes and so forth. And of course, the German heritage and Oktoberfest, which we're in the throes of now, But to see how the rich heritage from Scotland is being highlighted in such a beautiful way in Salado, and the two of you, really embracing the athletics part of it. Just a great thing for folks to come and watch. But if somebody wanted to, maybe I could try that. I could do that hay bale thing, So how would they go about learning more about it? Christian?
So, I learned a lot on YouTube. There's a lot of videos on YouTube.
Of course.
Yeah, so you can look up, there's a lot of folks that do teach, technique on YouTube, and you can always look at, shot putters throwing as well. But, I always tell folks that I meet over at Barrow, add me on Instagram. I will teach you as much as I can because it's about giving back. Centex Silverbacks, they have a practice every Saturday.
So is that a club?
Yeah, it's like a club. It's like just a bunch of, I just call it, a Throwing Rocks Club, I guess. We meet up at Marymore Park.
Yeah.
But if they're more local in Waco or Salado, I was just like, if you reach out to me, I'd love to just have a practice of people just coming by and teaching them.
And you're doing one more demo at the brewery, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so.
It'll be probably a Sunday in October sometime.
Okay.
But yeah, kind of like he was saying, if we were able to kind of put together something that was more of a regular practice in this area, just because like the next farthest one would be like the North Texas Silverbacks, which is up near Dallas. Then there's one in Austin, which is like a 2-hour drive for like he and I.
Yeah.
So we hardly ever make it up over there anymore. And so we try to like practice with a lot of people that live here locally. And then when we have the clinics and stuff at the brewery, we try to do stuff with them when we're there just so they can learn and get their hands on everything. But at the same time, you could just sign up and come to a game.
Yes.
And you don't have to have like any sort of qualifications, and everybody there is going to be so nice to you, and they're going to tell you what to do, and they're going to tell you how to help you, how to do better on your next one. Because yes, you're competing with each other, but you're also just competing with yourself, and you're trying to be better than you were the day before.
But you have to have a kilt.
If you're a novice, it's your first time, and you don't have one and just want to do it, we're cool. But
Yes. Your second game, you have to have a kilt.
You
game,
better
definitely
have that
one,
kilt.
yeah.
But also,
if I've seen you before.
You want to have a kilt. It's fun.
Yes.
It's comfortable. You just like, you feel it. It's you want to have it.
Well, I love it. And so tickets involved? How
Yes.
how is that done?
So the gathering and games are the Salado Museum's only fundraiser for the entire year. So this is a ticketed event, $30 for the entire weekend or just $20 for Saturday. So, and it is going to the Salado Museum, which is the best cause. And it's so appreciated. So there's a lower fee for children. I don't know all those details, but they're all at saladomuseum.org.
Anderson, you said there are some children's games too?
On Sunday, yes.
All right.
Yeah, we started that last year, and it's just a way to get children who are so curious, and they learn by doing, to give them a chance to have some hands-on interaction. It's not competitive yet, but maybe as it grows and interest multiplies, it'll become more.
Yeah, just a full weekend of fun, though. All things Scottish. And this is, again, the 64th Scottish Gathering and Highland Games. Going to be an awesome event. Thank you all. Good luck in all you're doing with your athletic endeavors.
Thank you.
It sounds like you're just setting all kinds of records and having all kinds of fun. So as a professional athlete, do you get endorsement deals?
Yes, I do. Barrow has actually helped me a couple times in a great way.
Yes.
The whole point of being a pro is like you have to accumulate invites, and when you get invited, typically they do pay for your flight and
Well, that helps.
everything. And then they also, when you get sponsorships, they help you with just going to Scotland or going around and paying for your travels. So it's great.
Oh, wow.
TikTok helps sometimes too. But,
Yeah, social media, is a good way to get the word out. Oh, thank you all so much. Delightful to have you here today. And Katie, as always, come back.
Thanks,
we'll
Ann.
have more to talk about. We always have great things happening in Salado.
Yes, ma'am.
Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead. I will tell you today's show is brought to you by Fox & Co. Bakery. We bake foxy things. Stay with us.
Serving Central Texas since 1889, TFNB Your Bank for Life takes pride in being more than a bank. At TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB, Your Bank for Life.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
Channel 25 has reported that routine system maintenance is underway for the Waco water system. You may notice a slight change in the water smell and taste over the next month because now through November 25th, the disinfectant used in the water will change from chloramine to free chlorine. The process will help remove any buildup in the pipes, which was caused by warm weather or just water sitting in pipes, and this will reduce the need for more maintenance in the future. So, again, you may notice a slight change in the smell or taste, but the city says that the water is still safe to drink, and it will disappear when the citywide system cleaning is complete. Shepherd's Heart, a local food pantry offering free food, groceries, and fresh produce, is teaming with Waco McLennan Health to host their drive-through food distribution event on October 25th. The mobile distribution is held in Waco McLennan Public Health Parking Lot at 225 West Waco Drive from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's recommended that you arrive early and get in line. Finally, the Robinson Area Lions Club is thrilled to announce that Halloween in the Park will be back to scare and delight on October 25th. You can enjoy a night full of spooktacular fun, including a s'more station, all of your favorite Halloween candy, fun face painting, a haunted house, and it's all happening at Peplow Park. The Lions Club is asking that you bring canned goods in support of the Robinson Food Pantry to have fun while giving back to your neighbors. I'm Elizabeth Riley with your Act Locally Waco News, and I will see you next time.
A big thank you to our sponsor, Fox & Co. Bakery. Check them out for delicious baked goods and your catering needs.
It's football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game, poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
Welcome back to the show. I'm delighted to have Ty Delley back here
good to be back.
with Unbridled in Moody. This is a equine therapy center. And, well, I want to talk some more about the center and just all the great work that you're doing for folks, for veterans, for members of the firefighters and, first responders, and just anybody that can be benefited by contact with a horse, which I think is just fascinating. But you've got a very special day coming up. I want to get right to that because it's November 8th.
It is.
From 1 to 8, and it's your Community Day. So tell me, what can we expect at Community Day at Unbridled?
Yeah, it's going to be bigger and better than last year, so we're excited. We had about 350 people last year. I think we're definitely hoping it's going to be more like 500 plus this year. So this is out at the ranch where we have all of our programs, And it is, November 8th from 1 to 5. And we've got live music. So we've Cody Lee Stone will be back with us again. And then we've got Clayton Lawson out of Stephenville. And we've got all kinds of food trucks, kids zone with pony rides and face painting and horse art. And the one and only Ann Harder will be emceeing that event.
I'm
that'll
excited
be fun.
about it. I got me a new cowboy hat, so I got the hat to wear.
Right.
So
that's awesome. And
what is it? The all hat no cattle? That may be me, but
and then we have a cornhole tournament, and we've got vendors this year, which is new, and we'll have resource tables like we did last year. So people in the community that just want to learn more about, different resources for them. But ultimately, the event is about appreciating our veterans and first responders.
Well, we cannot give them enough kudos
For sure.
for all they do. And of course, that's just right before Veterans Day, which is perfect. And of course, so many veterans do then go into law enforcement. I mean, and firefighting and all that. That's kind of in their blood, that servant sort of heart.
It is. Yeah. It is.
So let's go back to talk about Unbridled and how this all came about. Tell me about the origins of Unbridled.
Yeah. So I've gotten my elevator speech on this one down. I think it took a lot longer the last time when I met. But so really, truly, like my husband and I, we had a ranch in Spicewood, and we planned to stay there forever and ever.
And Spicewood is near Austin?
Marble Falls area.
Okay.
Yep. So we were planning to stay there forever, and then he kind of had a pretty significant health scare that made him, as he's in the ICU, he is searching for houses, and he's like, I want someplace that's just done. And so we planned to, like I said, we planned to be in Spicewood forever. And he got out of the hospital and he said, I have something to tell you. You're going to be mad at me, though. And I said, oh, my gosh, she just almost died. Like, what could possibly? And he said, I started looking for houses while I was sitting there, and I scheduled the walkthrough for Friday. And I said, I'm going to kill you. So anyway, we got to this. We came up. It is outside of Waco, between Waco and Temple in Moody, the big metropolis of Moody. And it had a covered riding arena. And we said, someday it'd be cool to do equine therapy, like partner with an equine therapy nonprofit, and just be able to
provide
offer
the space.
Yeah, just offer that as something that we could do for them. And we had exactly 2 years ago, it was this very event that we just threw just for the heck of it. Not like it wasn't Unbridled at that point. It was just Ty and Roe and a bunch of our friends, that my daughter's horse friends, and said, hey, let's just do a veteran first responder appreciation event. So we did. And then following that event, it was, hey, we heard you're starting a nonprofit. I said, oh, no, we're not doing that. And then somebody else, and the third one, and I finally said,
where did they get that?
I don't know. I think there was chatter about it at the event, and I thought, what in the world is wrong with these people? I said, I don't know anything about mental health. I know nothing about equine therapy. Just sounds cool, and I can barely take care of my own horses. I have no business, and yet here I am. So that was really the catalyst for the beginning of Unbridled. So amazingly, all of the right people came into my life shortly thereafter, and we created this 4-week program. And very different than a lot of therapy in the sense that we're talking about what's right with people instead of what's wrong with them, and really helping them maximize their talents and strengths, and figuring out what their value system is and what they're passionate about, who they can impact, and ultimately really moving towards purpose.
Yes, and what's kind of unique about your equine therapy is that it does not involve riding the horse.
That is correct. Yes.
So explain.
Yeah. So each session in the program is part classroom and part, when I say classroom, it's held in our barn. So that's kind of which I think is already just disarming, because we're not sitting in some type of clinical setting.
They're not in
we're
desks.
We're sitting in our barn. So it is my good friend Debbie Rodriguez, who teaches at UMHB, and she's the psychology professor there, so one of them. And so she and I teach the classroom portion, and then we go do activities with the horses that kind of drive points home that we've done in those sessions. And so in the classroom part. And so every session is part classroom, and then we go out and do an activity experientially with the horses that really people go, oh, that is how I see the world and get things done. That is how I treat my values in my real life, what just happened in that activity. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, and so it just, they touch the horses. And for some people, there's a fear there they have to get over.
Yeah.
Because it's a big animal.
It is a big animal. Yeah, and they're, it's so they're leading them. They're again doing just different activities where they have to, like the very first activity. I'll do a segue here. Like we'll just do a quick sidebar here about one of the activities to kind of maybe make that come to light. So we teach them about their strengths in the program, and everybody sees the world and gets things done in different ways. And in this Clifton Strengths Assessment, you have executing themes, influencing themes, relationship themes, and strategic thinking. And so people kind of see the world and get things done in one of those 4 ways. Mm-hmm. So one of the first activities we do is we go out to the pasture and we hand them halters and we say, go pick a horse and halter it and bring it back up here. And so most of these people have not had horse experience at all.
I don't know that. I would know how to do that.
And we aren't very nice. We don't hand them the buckle halters that, it's very clear how it works. It's a rope halter, which is literally just looks like a spaghetti web of rope, and they have to go put this on the horse. So how they do that is very creative and interesting. But the way that they even go about catching and haltering that horse is very evident that is how they operate. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. You're high influencing people. When I say influencing, those are your cheerleaders. Like, yeah, let's all go do this thing. They're going over to the horse like, okay, you got to come with me. You want to do this? You got to do. So it's just so funny to watch that play out. And so every activity we do it's let's talk about your values. Okay, how do we play out your values in this particular scenario? So, yeah.
And of course, this is all research based. I mean, this is not just, let's come up with some fun games to play with a horse.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And in fact, right now, which is so cool, we are partnering with University of Mary Hardin Baylor and doing a research project with them that has been presented to an IRB, which is an internal review board. And so we will be published with the outcomes that we've had. And I'm super excited about that. That'll be with our veteran population that will be publishing that research study.
Yeah, it is so crucial that veterans get any kind of help they can because the numbers that are committing suicide are just horrifying.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting? We had to really defend this whole idea of writing our declaration of purpose because it kind of sounds a little, oh, that's cute. We're writing a declaration of purpose, but we know how important purpose is. Everybody wants to know that they matter. And so I started digging deep into why is that so important? And actually, this study that is a standardized, validated assessment, it's called the Purpose in Life Index, has proven out that with veterans specifically, that having purpose in life has a 50 to 94% it's a protective factor against anxiety, depression, even PTSD and suicidal ideations. So that's the why, is so we can help with that. Because when you have a purpose, then you go, I'm going to get out of bed tomorrow and I'm going to get out of bed the next day because you have something that you're here to do. It's funny. I did the Waco Tailgate with a Hero this weekend. We were there with the horses. And I had 2 veterans come up and I started talking about the program and they said, I haven't had a purpose since I left the military. And so just both of them were like, tell me more about this program. And they're going to end up coming through it in November, which I'm super excited about. But yeah, it's important. People need to know that they matter.
Mm-hmm. Well, on your website, I love the quotes. Here's one: when I am down, I confidently focus on my strengths to pick myself up.
Yeah.
We're the hardest on ourselves.
For sure. Yeah.
I know how to regulate my emotions. So that it's fascinating to me how a program like this helps people learn that very important skill.
Yeah. We're excited about it. Those are, we have a set of 12 questions that we ask at the beginning of the program, and then we ask them again at the end, and we've just had some really neat outcomes on that. Just very humbling. It's we put this all together, my team of people. So our licensed professional counselor and Debbie, who again is the adjunct professor at UMHB, and I put the whole program material together. So it's been neat to see it really have an impact on people's lives.
Yeah. So you can learn more at unbridledtx.org. That's your website. Lots of great information on that. But let's go back to the Community Day, which is coming up. I'm excited. This is November 8th. It's a Saturday from 1 to 5.
Yes.
And you're in Moody, so
Yeah, this is out at our ranch, so it's going to be it's a big wide open spaces, and this time of year specifically, it's really cool. They've baled all the fields around us, so they've all got just these big and we can see for miles up on that hill. So it's really just it's going to be a neat space and a great day, and we'll just pray for good weather like we had last year.
And you got music. Tell me again about your music.
Yeah, so Cody Lee Stone, local Waco music guy, and Clayton Lawson. His band is coming out and playing from 3 to 5. So Cody's 1 to 3, Clayton's 3 to 5. The cornhole tournament's going to be fun. And then we added the cornhole tournament, but we also added a mechanical bull riding contest this year.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about that.
Have you done one of those before?
No.
Ridden one before?
No, I won't be doing that.
No,
it's not.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great way to get hurt is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm at a,
I'll
let's
leave that.
not do anything that might break a hip.
Yeah,
kind of stage of life, so.
absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
I have done it though. I have gotten on one
Oh
before.
my gosh, you're brave.
It's right. Yeah, in fact, just was at the rodeo not too long ago, and watching those guys do the saddle bronc and the bareback riding, and it's like their whole bodies are just.
I know.
Yeah. Well, so this won't be as.
Well, yeah, it
violent
depends
as
on
that,
who's
but-
running the machine,
Well,
but
then there's
I'm
that.
not. I'm going to make sure that whoever's running that is somebody who is
We can trust.
a very kind person. Yes.
All right. So, is there a cost to come?
No, the event is free. So
okay.
unless you want to buy things there, of course,
Yeah.
but all the activities, we'll probably have a small fee for the bull riding, but in the cornhole tournament, I think there's a small entry fee for that. But
And just
as
for-
far
yeah.
as all the activities that are going on that day are going to be, will be free. We'll have vendors and food trucks and all kinds of fun things. Rusty Shells is one of the food trucks coming, and Can Do Pizza in Moody, and they're
good.
doing a bunch of fun food. And then, we'll probably have another couple surprises. Freight and Foam out of Troy is doing craft wine and beer, and Highlands Lounge in Belton is going to be doing old fashions for us.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
so
so-
some adult beverages as
Some
well.
adult beverages,
But yeah,
yes.
music is just a fun way to kind of celebrate this time of year. We're ready really for a little cooler weather.
Yeah.
If there's rain,
Well, the show will go on.
Yeah,
so
it's still
yeah,
gonna do-
we'll have tents and things like that set up so people could kind of duck out. But we don't have a rain date for this, so
Okay.
it's going to be a rain or shine event. How many people show up, that might obviously impact that. Heart of Texas Cowgirls are going to do the color presentation as well,
Oh,
which will be really
good.
neat. So
oh,
we have lots of fun things going on.
oh, well, you've done just a great deal of work planning everything. Unbridled Equine Programs, and again, go check it out if you want more information. Very easy to find it. unbridledtx.org. Looking forward to it. It's going to be
great.
loads of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be
Thank-
fun having you there too.
I'm
We're excited.
going to get my cowgirl on for sure.
That sounds awesome.
For Community Day at Unbridled Equine Programs. Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
You can't trust everybody, but you can trust Rogue Media Network for all of your podcasting needs. From recording to distribution, we've got your back, even if I didn't have his.
VivoSun's mission is to empower growers with stylish and effective products, making indoor growing accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Visit vivosun.com today and get started making growing plants and vegetables easy and automatic.
With Ease US, make studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US.
At Covers and All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
At
At the Texas Ranger Hall of Fame and Museum, several of the firearms on exhibit are said to behave strangely at night. The stories of the Ranger Museum involve the chambers of several revolvers spinning in their cases and hammers randomly cocking as if prepared to fight.
If you go down, I'm going down too.
It's said that at least 12 ghosts are said to haunt the Myrtles. Many people believe that the land Bradford received from the Spanish was cursed because it was a Tunica Indian burial ground. The native link to the property could explain why the ghost of a beautiful Indian maiden has been seen inside the gazebo. The most often told legend concerns an enslaved woman named Chloe, who was enslaved by Clark and Sarah Woodruff. And the story goes that one day, Chloe was eavesdropping on a conversation Clark was having with several of his friends in the gentleman's parlor. And when Woodruff saw her peeking through the keyhole, he jumped up from his chair, dragged her outside, and cut off one of her ears.
Bubble wasn't here. I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
Ronnie worked the Waffle House, had the third shift, had a body in his truck he had yet to deal with, so whoops.
It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
But boy, it looked effortless.
Man, watch this.
Layups, floaters, threes. He was like an unsolvable equation.
I was born like this.
His resilience, his strength, his belief, adversity never stood a chance.
Know your power.
We offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at bizchair.com to transform your business.